The proposed Lilac Hills Ranch development would add more than 1,700 new housing units and 90,000 square feet of commercial and retail space in a semi-rural area north of Escondido and east of I-15. The area is currently zoned for 110 homes. Steve Hutchison with the Valley Center Community Planning Group is opposed to the project, and Nancy Lane was asked by the project developer, Accretive, to speak in support of the Lilac Hills Ranch development. Welcome.
Thank you.
Steve, the Valley Center Community Planning Group opposes this development. What are the committee's main objections?
The principal objection is the location. The project is planned for a very agricultural, rural area that is part of the community development model of Valley Center to be less dense and available for agriculture.
Do you think that it violates land use rules as they stand now?
Well, as they stand now, yes. The general plan is the sort of the constitution of land use in the county, and it was just passed 3 years ago. It calls for that area to be zoned in parcels anywhere from 2 to 40 acres, not the 2.9 dwelling units per acre that the project is going to average.
And Nancy, I know you used to be against this development, and you actually changed your mind. Why build a 600-acre location, this development, 600 acres, in an area zoned for 110 homes?
Well, actually, one of the things that I think is great about the development is the location. It's a mile and a half, I think, on the beginning edge from the freeway. So that has access to the major roads. It's a simple and quick and easy, and doesn't add any more trips to the longer range of the internal roads of the county. And I think it makes sense for a lot of reasons, because it goes along with the plans of the community, or excuse me, of the county, to put the main developments along the major thoroughfares and roadways. And it is one of the things that I think is necessary in when you're looking at development how's the access? How are you going to get in and out?
Do you think that the county should change its growth plans, Nancy, to the growth plan, I should say, to accommodate this development? Because I don't think it accommodates it right at the moment. Well,
again, when this developer first started and first acquired that property, it was a different development plan, and the county plan had not yet been approved. Plans are made, as I'm sure everyone knows, to be changed and to be tweaked and to make them work better for the communities that they're in. And so, yeah, I believe that it does make sense if it goes along with the greater plan of having development along corridors to do that. Yeah.
And Steve, what do you think? Do you think the growth plan should be changed to accommodate this?
Oh, absolutely not. The general plan was put in place acknowledging all the existing communities like Fallbrook and Bonsall and Valley Center and Ramona and Belzura as the cores of those communities. And the community development model, which is part of that general plan, dictates that you put all the density, the highest density, around those cores where there's schools and jobs and businesses that can support that density. And then land uses gradually thin out as you get to the edges, which is where this project is planned for, the edges of Bonsall and Valley Center. In fact, it straddles the border there. Where it was intended, and still is intended, that it be available for larger parcels and agriculture.
I know the developer describes this project as sustainable growth, promising to use green technology, solar, recycled water. Does that help a little bit in that, it's a development, but they're really trying to make this a lower impact?
Well, sustainability is an absolutely great goal. But a sustainable community or a green community that's out in the wrong place is still sprawl. We're going to have to extend infrastructure to this project. There's a discussion right now whether there's going to be fire service available, because it's way out of the way of the existing structure. Sewer's going to have to be extended at a great cost, something on the order of $50 million. Pipelines laid, new water routes connected. So there's very little there that's already in support of a project that size. If it were built, say, next to Escondido or Vista or Oceanside, where there's already that infrastructure in place, it wouldn't be as much of a problem.
Well, I know part of the proposal does support a new fire station to go along with it. And Nancy, in response to that, how do you think this development would benefit the community as a whole, either bringing a new fire station, the benefits to the community?
Well, it does bring in a new fire station. There is one now that's a CAL fire station, and in negotiation as to whether or not they're going to put a second one, depending on what the fire district determines, and that's really their call. And it will recycle water. There actually is less water used by housing than it is by agriculture, so it will actually lower the water, and particularly if you're recycling that water. It will actually produce more water for the community. And as far as a sewer, I don't know any homeowner anywhere who would be opposed to having a sewer available to his property as opposed to septic. There's, most people are very happy to have that there, and they're certainly working with the people who are within that line and the roads and so on to have that brought in. And that's, again, a negotiation point. You can talk to people about how that can be changed.
All right.
And then I just have one other tiny little point, and that is that the development that you call sprawl, and saying that Fallbrook and Bonsall and those areas have their core communities. Fallbrook is putting right now several thousand homes up in sort of that same corridor right along the freeway, along with an expansion of the Palomar College. And Bonsall is going to is working with the development now, and will see a very wonderful increase actually in their school bonds, their school development, and their school students because of the development. If you look at
let me respond to that. So there's other areas that are growing. I guess my question would be, would you support any development in this area?
Well, I support the general plan, and the general plan does focus on the existing communities. Fallbrook chose to move their development, because they don't like dense development, out on the edge, out along I-15. Valley Center, Ramona, many other communities, Bonsall, don't see it that way. They'd rather have the densest part of their community at the core, where there's infrastructure to support it.
All right, we're going to have to wrap it there. There's a lot more on our website, kpbs.org. I want to say Stephen Hutchison and Nancy Lane, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.